Hey everyone, welcome to Quilt Cabana Corner. I'm Sandi Colwell, and this week we're going to do Quilt Cabana Corner via Facebook Live. So thank you all for joining me, and today I want to talk about two things. The first one being this portrait quilt that I have finished the piecing on. Last time I showed it to you, it was just maybe half done, maybe not even. So we'll talk about that at the end. The other thing that I want to talk to you about is a homework assignment that I have. So back in last April, I joined an association for creative arts professionals. And we're going to have a conference in 2 weeks, and we've been assigned some homework. And I thought that the homework was really going to be a great tool for myself, and also, I think, for you guys. And basically, what the homework is to figure out or clarify what your why is. Why are we getting up in the morning and feeling the strong pull to create and touch fabric and maybe scrapbook or paint? What's pulling us to do this every day? Whether it's a full-time job or a part-time job or something you come home to at night and you can't wait to get at it. It's important to kind of figure out why. And the why helps us with our quilting mojo, or any kind of mojo, creatively, and also helps us with determining what we're going to work on a day-to-day basis. What do we want to work on? And why are we going to work on it? So what we're supposed to do for the homework is to think about our passions. What are we passionate about in this industry? What in your business makes you hum every day? So for me, my business is threefold. And what we do is we take each of those three passions and we list them out, and then sort of in a Venn diagram form, what comes together in the center that drives your business, drives you. And it's not something I think that you do once and forget about. I think that this is something that you think about and it might evolve over time. And I think I've almost got mine. So my business is threefold. The first part of it is designing. I love designing. The second part of it is education. I like to go out to teach students. I like to have students come in. It makes me very happy to help people. And the third part is the long arm part. So let's start with the long arm. 2 years ago, I purchased the long arm for my business, and I taught myself how to use it. I watched every video, I read everything I could, and now I have a long arm component to my business. It's fun, and it helps me to help customers finish their quilts in a beautiful way that makes them proud to hand it off to their recipient. That is the long arm piece. The education piece is that I can help people to bring their quilting up to the next level. It's sort of a coaching, a teaching. When I first started it, I just thought to myself, if I could get people to pay attention to accuracy, to accurate seaming and accurate cutting, they could produce something really beautiful, and I want to help them do that. And so my other piece was designing. I've been designing for a long time, been in a lot of magazines. I love that work. That work is really rewarding for me. But it didn't start out that way. It originally started, well, I should say it didn't start out with quilting. It originally started with scrapbooking. That was my big love of everything. And I loved paper piecing. Paper piecing and scrapbooking is very different than paper piecing and quilting. Paper piecing and quilting, hold on one second, is like this, where you're sewing fabric onto paper and then you're ripping the paper out. That's not paper piecing and scrapbooking. Paper piecing and scrapbooking is something more like this. So cutting out those shapes, using my photos, that is really where my passion still lies. I love using photos. As you can see, now I'm turning my photos into fabric art, fabric collage. And that's really fun and exciting. So when I came up with the book, the ideas for the book came from scrapbooking, because I thought to myself, why can't we do scrapbooking, paper piecing in fabric form? because that would give everybody a fun design. They could change the colors, they could do what they want. And so I loved designing for that book. It was awesome. So what I want you guys to think about is, what is your why? And I think that my why, if you look at my passions and then boil it down to a Venn diagram, at the very center is really inspiring people and helping people and connecting with people. And I think that that's why I'm driven to get up every day, and instead of going to the beach or shopping or doing something else, I'm forcing myself to sit down every day and create. So hopefully thinking about these things will help you grow as an artist and a creative person, and you'll be able to expand your techniques, and your creative juices will be flowing. And I think it's important for everybody to think about that. So take some time, think about it, and then let me know in the comments what your passions are and what you think your why might be. And I'm going to continue to work on mine. Okay, so second thing I want to talk about is this portrait quilt. And it's done. The piecing is done. All the little bitty pieces of fabric have been glued down. One little dot of glue, because you don't want to gum up your machine needle when you go to quilt it. So the next thing that has to be done on this is, I do have to take just a little bit more glue, and any pieces that look like they're not secure, I'm going to secure them down really well. Not gobs of glue, a dot. And then the next thing that goes on it, which some of you might not know, but all those little bits and pieces of fabric, they're frayed edges, they're raw edge. So you want to make sure that when you're moving the piece underneath your quilting needle, that you're not losing pieces. You don't want to get it all quilted and then, you know, half of Amanda's hair is missing because it wasn't secured down. So the way to combat that is to put a piece of tulle over it. And it can be different colors of tulle. It doesn't have to be white tulle. And in fact, using different colors gives you a little different effect on the piece. So I didn't have any white tulle, which I don't think is going to look good anyway, because I think it tends to wash the whole thing out. But a maroon tulle or a cranberry tulle, I don't know if you're going to be able, how great you're going to be able to see this, will sort of give an effect of a sunset. It just takes enough color out of it. I totally just stuck myself with that pin. Takes enough color out of it, but it doesn't take away from the design at all. But it gives it sort of the sunset look. But I know, because I took the photo, it was like high noon, so I don't want the sunset effect on this. So I'm going to say no to that one. And what I do? Okay, the blue one. So I guess I'm a little torn actually between the blue and the gray. The blue one sort of does give it that washout high noon effect. I'll put pictures on my blog of the close-ups of this so you can see it better. And it's quiltcabanapatterns.com/blog, and I'll link to that. So this one just gives it a little more of a midday effect, which I kind of like. I didn't like it last night. When I put it up, I thought, no, I don't really care for that. And then the gray kind of just gave the effect I was looking for, where her shirt is gray. I don't know. I just kind of liked it. So I'll put this one up there. And like I said, I'll actually put photos in the comments down below so you can see better what I'm talking about. And when you stitch it all down, you don't see the tulle. It's not the first thing you see. You might think, why would you want to put that on there? It looks like she's behind some chicken coop or something. But she's not, and you don't see it. It all just blends in, especially with your thread choices. And really it's to protect the piece. So the more I look at the gray, the more I like the gray again. It kind of takes the whole color tone down a little bit, and I think that that's okay. So that's what I'll be working on. I have a quilt on the long arm now, and I'm having a Bargello class at my house next week. So once I'm finished prepping for all of that, I'll be back to quilting this. And then in the meanwhile, if I feel like it, I might prepare the next one, which might be a portrait of one of my little bunnies. So I'm interested to see how it is to do a pet portrait. So that's it for our little Facebook Live this morning. Thanks for joining me. And again, give it some thought. What's your why? Why are you doing this? Why are we bothering everybody? And I think that if you do a little soul searching, you're going to actually be more motivated to continue and to grow, because as my friend Morna says, where you put your attention is what grows. So this week, put your attention to figuring out your passions. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.